Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vincent Toth, and welcome to my TEDx talk. I never thought I'd be up here, not as a military spouse, giving a TEDx talk. I mean, when I first arrived to Okinawa, I was the new guy, the +1, the tag-along. My husband, he's a Marine, and like many military spouses, I moved from base to base, picking up and starting all over again. But being a male military spouse in a female predominant space, I often felt like I was wearing the wrong uniform at the wrong event. I used to ask myself, where do I fit in? What I didn't realize then, it wasn't about fitting in. The goal was to lead. Military communities are amazing, but they can also feel very isolating. We move constantly. Friendships, they have expiration dates. And the ones who hold it all together, the spouses, the volunteers, they sometimes get left in the background, especially when you're a bit different. I remember attending an event early on, where no one really knew what to do with me. Sure, I was met with polite smiles, and then long silences. And I'll be honest, it would have been easier to keep my head down, retreat, and wait for our next PCS. But man, something kept pulling me back. And I don't know, maybe it was a desire to connect, or maybe I just wanted to prove I did belong. Then one day, someone asked me to volunteer. Something small. Pass out a few flyers, help decorate a table. Nothing big. But that small yes led to another opportunity and another. Before I knew it, I was volunteering regularly, helping manage, coordinate, and organize events. Eventually, I became the president of a local military spouse organization, where I supported military families, managed dozens of volunteers, and best of all, created a space where, regardless of background or rank, people could feel at home. I never planned to lead. I just kept showing up. And that made all the difference. Because what I found is this: when one leads with heart, others follow. Not out of obligation, but because they feel seen. The more I led, the more I saw others step into their leadership roles. I saw once quiet volunteers turn into confident individuals. I saw people who never attended events before suddenly bringing friends and having an amazing time. And you know what? Our community grew. It grew more diverse, more inclusive, and more alive. We had subclubs for specific interests. We brought people together from all walks of life in one place. We had events that felt less like an obligation and more like a family gathering. And somewhere in that process, I found my voice. I was no longer that new guy. I was no longer that +1. I was no longer that tag-along. I was a connector. I was a builder. I was a bridge to communities. Now, volunteerism sometimes gets a bad rap. People think it's just about filling time, doing favors, but it's not that. Volunteering is not that at all. Volunteering is leadership in its purest form. It's raising your hand when no one else will. It's choosing to care when no one is paying you to. And it's the foundation of community building, especially somewhere like Okinawa, where connection isn't automatic, it's intentional. Through volunteering, I didn't just plan events. I built bridges and communities. I built them between officers and enlisted spouses, between our branches of service, between cultures like Americans and Okinawans, and best of all, between people who felt unseen and the communities waiting to embrace them. We often wait for the person in charge to make a difference. But I have found it doesn't always come from the top down. It often starts with that person who's willing to stay late, pass out a few flyers, or help decorate that table. That kind of leadership, it's contagious. Now, here's what I'll leave you with today. You don't have to have the perfect resume to lead. You don't need a title, permission, or a platform. You just have to care enough to act. Because when one person stands up, it gives others the courage to do the same. You don't have to do everything. Just say yes to one thing. Because you never know what difference that one yes might make. Not just for you, but for everyone around you. When one leads, many rise. And together, we can build bridges strong enough to carry us all. My name is Vincent Toth, and thank you for listening to my TED Talk.